I just want for anybody tuning in and showing up here, we're talking about divorce reform and CPS here with Jeff and Kristi. This is a very ugly world that I don't think that people really know about, because if you've gone through it, I can imagine the shame that comes along with it, the embarrassment, the tarnishing of your reputation and who you are as a person. Not to even leave out the financial commitment to fight for your good name, as they say. People don't sit around over coffee and say, hey, let me tell you what I went through. Yeah. Especially if you were that parent that people looked at you, they saw you with your kids, they have known you for a good part of the kids' lives, your life. They know you're an upstanding person. They've never seen anything that made a red flag go off for them and say, hey, there may be something going on here. And all of a sudden now you don't have your kids. Mm-hmm. And you're having to live through trying to keep your life in order as normal as possible and not just literally die. Yeah.
What you've just said about that, because you were talking about Child Protective Services ahead of time, and the shame and embarrassment.
Yes.
And the reason I'm involved with the grandparents thing is because I was very important to my grandchildren's life. I was one of the primary safety nets in their lives. In fact, even CPS acknowledged that. They said that. They still threw me under the bus.
Okay.
But during this time, when I got accused of something that I had no idea what I was being accused of, I was out of state, my daughter filed a lawsuit against me, took me to court. And my ex-wife got up there, committed perjury. My daughter's former boyfriend, who later on almost killed her, got up there, committed perjury. No punishments to any of my daughter was testifying. She was very easily proven to be committing perjury. And I mean, I had correspondence and everything else that, look, Cydney, it happens to both men and women, but
sure,
when it happens to a man and he's accused of domestic violence or something like that, usually the verdict is in.
Right.
So when the judge actually declared me to be innocent, due to the inconsistency of the testimony and saw no evidence whatsoever, do you know what that's like? And my attorney said to me afterwards, do you know how many innocent men sit in jail right now?
I could only imagine so.
But the thing was this, is that, you know, here I was, very beloved by my grandchildren. I love my grandchildren. I spent so much time with them. And now I am kicked out of their lives. I have not seen my grandchildren, Cruz and Gideon, for 4 years because of the CPS thing. And that's why I filed. That's why I fought this thing so hard. But here's a comment from somebody. I don't know whether I should mention the name or not.
Just read the comment.
The comment is this. It's from my former mother-in-law, so I won't mention her name. Because I was testifying about Children's Protective Services with the death of Liliana Wright. I just said I had to do something. I didn't know what I was doing. I went down there for the first time. They gave me a lot of time. But my former mother-in-law writes this: what a bunch of baloney. As with most narcissists, I didn't realize I was a narcissist, Jeff is no innocent victim, just more intelligent, crafty, and vindictive than most. For years he has mercilessly and constantly harassed his ex-wife, her family, and those who stand with us. There's a whole story behind this, I won't go into it. Jeff has brought this on himself, and he is fortunate we have been as patient with him as we have. Now, my former mother-in-law, at the time that she wrote this, was a missionary to Mexico, and her husband was supposedly a minister. And they knew that this stuff was not true, but the problem was that they had to do something to try to denigrate me.
Of course.
And they also provided false emails and stuff like that they tried to get me. You know, Cydney, I'm remarried. My wife, Karen, is a wonderful lady. We have a stepson, 28 years old. He was born dead. He was resuscitated. He's got 24-hour medical care. At the time, it was my insurance. It was primary on him. They tried to get me thrown into jail, convicted of a felony, which I did not do. Like I said, I was out of state. They tried to get me fired from my job. All of these different things. Ramifications of that would have been
Huge.
Yeah.
Devastating for your stepson.
My stepson, my wife, my marriage. I mean, they sent 5 volumes of information to my ex-wife, or to my wife, to try to denigrate me. And, you know, we're so sorry, you know, we're praying for your protection. Most people, and I'm not trying to say anything about myself, but most people are like, Jeff, how did you do this? That you actually, you know, you married into the situation. I never thought anything of it.
Right.
But a lot of people, you know, they put me on a pedestal that I didn't deserve to be on. But then I get this, you know, narcissist, vindictive, mercilessly harassing.
And if anybody knows anything about narcissism, they gaslight their targets and their victims. They get flying monkeys. So those are friends that kind of idolize the narcissist. And you can look all of this stuff up, WebMD, any. One book that I recommend for everyone is Malignant Self-Love, and also watching a movie with Ethan Hawke where he thinks he's this time-traveling cop. Really goes through the psychosis of what goes through their head, because they're actually the one, everything that they put on the label of someone else is everything that they are doing.
So they're projecting.
So they're projecting, but they don't want anyone to see that.
Yeah.